Welcome to our performance recognizing the influence of Finnish women as we celebrate the 100th anniversary of Finland's independence. Singing Strings was started in 1983 with my twin sister Hilpi Leino Kantola, pianist from Finland, and myself Helena Leino Pääkola, violinist from Minnesota, both schooled in Sibelius Academy, Finland. We wanted to use our profession as musicians to start a cultural exchange between Finland and USA. Our deep love for Finland and Finnish music has been introduced and mentored to generations of students from Evergreen School of Performing Arts. Join us now to hear the stories of a nation gaining its independence, inspired by music, song, and dance.
At this time, Finland is a Grand Duchy with varying degrees of autonomy in the Russian Empire. Spring Festival, May 13th, 1848. Frederick Passia's composition for the national anthem was performed for the first time, and Uno Segneas, a clergyman and head of the school system, gave his famous speech that had a profound effect on the awakening of national independence.
Swedish, we no longer are. Russians, we will not become. Then let us be Finnish.
The February 1899 manifesto of Tsar Nicholas II began the Russification of Finland, aimed at limiting its political autonomy and cultural uniqueness. Edvard Eeto Isto's painting, The Attack, depicts a Russian eagle attacking a Finnish maiden. It became a symbol of the oppression and was reproduced and distributed by the thousands around Finland. Russia was enraged. Isto was forced to flee to Sweden. The ruthless, ultranationalist Russian Governor-General of Finland, Nikolai Baburkov, was assassinated in Helsinki in 1904. Finland was now a lawless country. Fear was gaining a strong foothold. The women of Finland were beginning to ask, what can we do for our fatherland? The struggle for independence intensified. Women were using their sewing baskets to covertly transport copies of Isto's painting and pamphlets written by Juhani Aho, a Finnish author and journalist. They created an underground movement using pseudonyms and code names. So began the internal conflict, and so thought the majority of the nation. It would be a tragic war of brother against brother. The last sounds of Kalevala's birch bark horn and Väinämöinen's kantele faded into history.
In 1905, amidst turmoil occurring in Russia, the Finns remade their constitution and formed a new legislature. Among the reforms of the new constitution, Finland was the first European country to grant full female suffrage. The first female members of parliament in world history were elected in Finland in 1907. Emigration from Finland to America, Sweden, and other countries increased. Before the Declaration of Independence, the strong women of Finland, demanding equality, became widely known around the world for raising the nation's awareness and firing up the pursuit of independence. The concept of Finland and Russia as two separate states was beginning to form. Minna Canth is considered the mother of Finnish literature and playwriting, and is the only Finnish woman to be granted a National Flag Day in her honor.
One of the most known Finnish artists of the time, besides Jean Sibelius. She was telling the German soldiers to spread the word in Europe as they were returning home from the end of World War I. Finland will soon stand as an independent country. February 1917 Russian Revolution had profound implications. By December 6, 1917, the Finnish parliament declared Finland an independent nation. The breaking away of the Finnish state would most likely not have happened had it not been for the fall of the Tsarist Empire. Finland was beginning to see itself as a nation among nations. Finland introduced laws concerning national education. Once passed into law, schools and teachers played key roles, especially in rural areas, in building the Finnish identity. Nissinen was one of the first female members of parliament, powerful poet serving in the first two governments. She was an author, poet, many of these women had their roots in Karelia. She founded a preparatory school and a women's organization. Her actions women's strength helped unravel the stigma in society concerning women as less knowledgeable and weak. Social views. She created a popular children's song. Prominent pieces of Finnish literature today. A poem by Katri
which has quietly burned at a distance and waited. I am no longer fulfilled by this. I wish to blaze. I want to burn high. If only one day, one night.
Tuusulanjärven Society, located at the enchanting Lake Tuusula, drew some of the most highly regarded artists of Finland. Notable families included Jean Sibelius, Edvard Järnfeldt, Juhani Aho, Pekka Halonen, and Carl Swan, whose daughter, the feature author Ani Swan, would later write popular young adult fiction with nationwide appeal.
Amongst them were Hanna Granfeldt, Mikey Järnfeldt Palmgren, Adi Flodin. Aino Akte was the first international star of Finnish opera. She was a founding member of the Savonlinna Opera Festival, together with chocolatier Karl Futzer and noted musician Oscar Merikanto. The Midsummer Night's Waltz by Merikanto was an instant hit, and everyone was humming and whistling it. There were rumors that Merikanto occasionally wished he had never written it.
Joined the Tuusulanjärven Society rooms. Aino and Maya Sibelius are playing a piano piece for four hands. Ani Swan is reading a book. Under the false flag provocation called the Shots of Mainila, blaming the Finns for starting a war. In truth, Stalin wanted to extend the Russian border. Restaurant Candy in central Helsinki became a hub for the international press, following the fortunes of Finland under Soviet attack. Everyone was making projections of how long Finland could hold out against the superpower. A month at the most. The international community watched, horrified, with deep admiration for Finnish bravery. Aino Sibelius reads a letter from her husband John. I need you for my being to be whole. I can never be your slave. And if you give me an order, I would disobey. But if you ask me, I would go to the fiery pit for you. Recitation had such force and passion, Finland received a tidal wave of aid. Sibelius family 10,000 Swedish soldiers volunteered to aid Finland. Finland held the Soviet assault back for 3.5 months, and the Winter War ended with the Moscow Peace Treaty of March 13, 1940. Finland remained an independent democracy in North Wales. Of 1918 concerned leadership and control during the transition from a grand duchy to an independent state. A fragile peace was holding between Finland and the Soviet Union. People were dancing to the Midsummer Night's polka just before the onset of the Continuation War in June 1941. Which lasted until September 1944. Oh humanity, oh justice, where lies and dressed the troops. I have fought on many fronts, but I have never seen soldiers that compared to you. The Red Guards saw this, but let them go. Finnish forces emerged victorious under the leadership of Carl Gustaf Mannerheim. Finland was an independent democratic republic. The Finnish flag was made official, and Carlo Juho Stolberg was elected the first president of Finland in 1919. Soprano Anna Lila was an avid husband, composer Toivo. She introduced his music all over Scandinavia and Europe. One evening they held a concert at the Viipuri Civic Hall. The Sakiarven polka was played over a specific frequency after the concert that interfered with the radio control at Soviet landmines. The song was played continuously for about 1,500 times, declared in the beginning of September 1941. Why don't you just play Sibelius and say, Finnish soldiers, it's a lot better than yours.
Toivo Kula has been shot!
Being a fiery man from Pohjola, a brawl ensued. Kula came out on top and left the establishment, but the soldier followed him to the courtyard and shot him. The Lotta was the world's largest unarmed women's unit. The actions of the Lotta helped raise the equality of women in Finland. There was no doubt as to the importance of the women's participation in the war effort. The Leno family remembers stories from their mother, who was on the front line as a Lotta under the command of the renowned General Adolf Ehrnrooth. After the peace treaty of 1944, the Lotta was disbanded as a fascist organization by the Russians. This was done on the grounds that Finland had initiated the continuation of war, and such women should not be respected or supported. There was a lot of disdain towards the former members of the Lotta long after the war, and they did not receive their fully earned recognition until the mid-1990s. The Finns retained their sovereignty, but had to pay the worth of $300 million in reparations to the Soviet Union. The debt was paid off in the following 8 years. Also, Finland was the only country to pay its World War II debt to the United States. to Finland. Finland's place in the international community was further strengthened by the Helsinki Olympics and the completion of reparation deliveries to Russia the same year. Finnish women continue to demonstrate their tenacity and hard work, their talents and skills, to help raise Finland to the consciousness of the world. Armi Ratia, the founder of Marimekko, a hugely successful textile and clothing company. Aino Aalto, an architect and designer. She was recognized internationally for her glassware and designed several pieces for the Finnish company Viittala. Myra Gullikson, an art collector and patron, was co-founder of Artek with Aino and Alvar Aalto. Artek is recognized for its birch bentwood furniture. Kaija Arika, a designer and entrepreneur, founded Arika Oy, selling wooden bead jewelry and other small wooden objects. The smuggling of moonshine. Eila Hiltunen, a Finnish sculptor, famous for the Sibelius Monument in Helsinki. A version of the monument has been created as a necklace for the 100-year anniversary. She split in half. Tuve Jansson, novelist, painter, and comic strip author. She is best known as the author of the Moomin books for children. Laila Kullinen, artist and sculptor, exemplified classical modernism. Karita Mattila, operatic soprano. She appears regularly in major opera houses worldwide. Kaija Saariaho, composer, winner of several international prizes for her work. She earned recognition for the second opera by a female composer ever to be presented at the Metropolitan Opera. Sylvie Kekkonen, a published writer and spouse of the past President of the Republic, Urho Kekkonen. Tarja Halonen, the first female President of Finland from 2000 to 2012. Luckily they did. Jenny Haukio, a poet and the current First Lady of Finland. Music for Karen Kestoinen Onni was composed for singing strings by Ilkka Kuusisto and gifted to FinFest 2014. Ilkka Kuusisto's sons, Jaakko and Pekka, are also gifted musicians. The Singing Strings had the honor of performing at the American Embassy during the 4th of July celebration in Helsinki in 1987. In a press conference, the American ambassador to Finland, Rockwell A. Schnabel, stated, "It must be stressed that the Finnish immigrants in America have had a deep impact on the American culture and social development. It must not be forgotten. Even today, much to the surprise of many, the Finnish language and culture continues to thrive in the American immigrants, passed on from generation to generation." Tervetuloa saunaan!